Is this the beginning of their broken relationship? Taehyung suddenly comes out of Jungkook's live, leaving millions of ARMY speechless. What exactly did Jungkook say when he covered his mic? Was Taehyung really so offended that he chose to leave? HYBE finally speaks, but are they telling the truth? Taehyung is going away? The reaction after Jungkook's exit from live confused the ARMY. What really happened between Taehyung and Jungkook that night? Why did a moment that was supposed to be warm and joyful for the ARMY actually turn into a series of big question marks, emotional rumors, and waves of anxiety that hit this biggest fandom in the world? Live that night began, as usual. Jungkook, with his trademark smile, greeted ARMY warmly through a live broadcast on the Weverse platform. He seems relaxed, carries his characteristic energy, and spreads cheerfulness as he used to do. However, in a matter of minutes, all changed. Taehyung, who initially appeared as a sweet surprise in the middle of the broadcast, was suddenly silent. His gaze changed, his face stiffened, and without saying much, he stood up and go. Just like that. Leaving Jungkook and millions of viewers in a frozen state. What made Taehyung do that? The live recording is now the subject of heated discussion on various social media platforms. Many noticed one crucial moment that seemed to be the trigger. When Jungkook, with an expression that suddenly turned serious, covered his mic and whispered something to Taehyung. No one knew for sure what he was saying, but Taehyung's expression couldn't be hidden. His eyebrows rose, his eyes narrowed. He looked at Jungkook in disbelief. Then it's gone. The quick reaction from fans shows how strong the emotional bond between ARMY and the BTS members is. Many immediately feel devastated, anxious, and even angry. Some blame Jungkook. Some are trying to defend. But one thing is for sure, the moment scratched something in the hearts of many. What did Jungkook really say that night? Why is Taehyung so hurt? Is this a sign that their relationship is not as harmonious as it seems on camera? The questions echoed, and HYBE, who is usually slow to respond to internal controversies, moved quickly this time. In the official statement, they claim that the incident that night was just a misunderstanding. They said that Jungkook was conveying something related to his personal schedule and did not mean to offend anyone. However, is it really that easy? If it was just a misunderstanding, why did Taehyung's face look so hurt? Why didn't he come back, even after the broadcast was over? Why didn't he upload any clarification until the next day? Even just an emoji like he usually does when he wants to relieve tension. Some fans claimed that they saw Taehyung come out of the broadcast building with a grim face. An unofficial source even said that he refused to talk to the staff and immediately got into the car without saying a word. The news makes speculation grow even wilder. Some say Jungkook may have mentioned something sensitive about their past. Others believed that Taehyung had long harbored emotional wounds and that night's words only fueled what he had long endured. If we go back to the dynamics of their relationship so far, it is undeniable that the chemistry between Jungkook and Taehyung is something extraordinary. However, behind the smiles and warm hugs in front of the cameras, who knows the small wounds that may be hidden? The world of entertainment is not always what it seems. And inside BTS, even though they are known to be very close, they are still human, with egos, feelings, and possible conflicts that they have been covering up for the sake of maintaining harmony. Did I ask this the first time they fought? Of course not. An insider from one of the former staff revealed that this is not the first time there has been tension between the two members. In fact, there was one time when they didn't talk to each other for a whole week on tour. But at that time, these events never appeared to the public. Now, for the first time, a moment of emotion is captured live, and the whole world is watching it in real time. Some ARMY with observant eyes even break down the broadcast moment second by second to find clues. One fan account with more than 2 million followers showed footage of Jungkook biting his lip and staring blankly at the camera after Taehyung left, as if he realized that something was wrong. It was as if he wanted to go back in time and undo whatever he had said. Why is Jungkook covering his mic? This question becomes the biggest mystery of all. If what he said was something that didn't mean any harm, why should it be hidden from the public? Why not let the ARMY hear for itself? Or precisely because he knew that if the ARMY heard, everything would be worse. To this day, speculation continues to roll in. Some began to associate it with old rumors of a conflict of opinions in the selection of solo songs, or even a small jealousy rooted in the individual projects of each of them. But what was most surprising was when an insider account on a Korean forum posted that Jungkook was actually trying to warn Taehyung about a growing issue, and his way of delivering was too direct, making Taehyung feel degraded in public. If this is true, is Jungkook wrong for trying to protect, albeit in a rude way? What about Taehyung? Should he be more open and not just walk away? HYBE called this incident just a small misunderstanding and asked fans not to exaggerate it. But the statement did not ease the curiosity that burned many of the ARMY. They want an explanation. They need peace. Because for ARMY, Jungkook and Taehyung aren't just idols. They're symbols of friendship, strength, and comfort. If two people who are so close can crack because of a short sentence, what does all the memories they've built together mean? As of this writing, Taehyung has yet to make a statement. Jungkook remained silent, only appearing occasionally through short stories that did not touch the issue at all. ARMY split. Some remain supportive, some are beginning to feel disappointed. But perhaps the most painful is this uncertainty. Because the biggest wounds often do not come from the conflict, but from the silence afterwards. Will we see them together again soon? Will they look at each other with sincere smiles as before? Or is this the beginning of a distance that can no longer be bridged? That night, one inaudible sentence changed everything. And the world is still waiting. An explanation, a hug, or maybe a recognition that not all wounds can be healed by time. The next morning, the fandom world was still silent. The hashtags #WhereIsTaehyung and #WhatDidJungkook have been trending globally for more than 24 hours. Not only that, the international fanbase began to gather signatures to demand a more honest explanation from HYBE. All of this shows one thing that cannot be ignored. The ARMY feels lied to. And when love turns into suspicion, anything can burn. The question then grew larger. Is all the content we watched just fake? Did the warmth they displayed in front of the camera actually not represent reality for a long time? Some fans began to bring up moments from the past, trying to put together puzzle pieces that might not have been considered important so far. Like last year's comeback, when in one variety show, Taehyung seemed to be trying to embrace Jungkook, but was subtly rejected. At that time, many considered him a joke. But now, after the live incident, fans are reviewing the footage with different glasses. Are all those gestures actually subtle screams that escape our attention? One of the Japanese ARMY posted an in-depth analysis of more than 40 minutes on YouTube, showing Jungkook and Taehyung's body language changes over the past 2 years. In the video, it is clear, whenever Jungkook is serious, Taehyung tends to move away. In contrast, when Taehyung is open, Jungkook often shows awkwardness. They're not close, but something has changed. Something they've never talked about. Or maybe they can't talk about it. When asked in an interview last year about who was the most difficult member to understand, Taehyung replied quietly, Jungkook. Everyone laughed then, including Jungkook himself. But now, with all the tension that comes with it, that answer feels like an unfinished message. A small hint that now resonates like an alarm that we ignored for too long. And then came a short video snippet from one of the fan sites, which managed to record Taehyung exiting the broadcast building that night. In the 18-second video, Taehyung is seen walking briskly, with a hoodie pulled up to cover part of his face. But the look in his eyes was clear. And what is most surprising, tears rolled down her cheeks. Not profusely, but enough to make the world stop for a moment. What makes a Taehyung, who has always been known to be confident, strong, and calm, cry after a live broadcast with a friend he has known for more than 10 years? Meanwhile, Jungkook did not provide clarification. He only appeared in private live 3 days later, playing the guitar without saying a word. He looked exhausted, as if he were carrying a burden that could not be shared. At one point, he seemed to stop, looked at the blank screen, and said in a low voice, I want to say something, but I'm afraid I'm wrong again. That sentence broke the hearts of many soldiers. Because to be honest, fans don't just want to know what happened. They want to know that everything will be fine, that there will be no cracks that get bigger. that Jungkook and Taehyung will forgive each other, look at each other again without pain, and stand together as before. But that hope depends on one thing, the courage to talk. But what if they choose to remain silent? On the other hand, Jimin, who is known to be very close to both of them, appears to be the most The fourth day after the live incident became the most painful point. Not because there was no news, but because the news was too quiet. Taehyung, who is usually so active on social media, did not show up. Didn't even leave a trace. Not emoji. No photos. Not a word. And in the ARMY world, nothing is more terrifying than when Taehyung chooses silence. The emptiness felt like an echo of a broken heart. Fans began to ask deeper questions. Is Taehyung thinking about taking a break? Does he feel betrayed? Or worse, does he feel like he has no more place in the middle of the circle he used to call home? Then came a surprise that made everything shake again. Someone from the backstage staff, who did not want to be named, leaked that shortly after the live ended, Jungkook immediately chased Taehyung to the studio's basement parking lot. They reportedly spoke for about 5 minutes. No one knows what is being talked about. But Jungkook's high voice was heard, while Taehyung's voice was barely there. Eventually, Jungkook's voice weakened. Dan. Silence. Very quiet a few minutes later, Jungkook came out of the parking lot with red eyes and simply said to one of the staff, "I lost him tonight, huh?" Then walk away. The sentence, although not officially confirmed, has spread in the ARMY community. And when translated into multiple languages, it feels as if the hearts of the entire fandom are cracking together. I lost him tonight, didn't I? How can such a simple sentence sound like an ending? Meanwhile, Jin, who had just finished his military activities, became one of the first to contact the two personally. In one live performed a few days after the incident, Jin appeared to be trying to slip in a bit of humor while saying, "Those two boys, it's easy to explode, but the heart is also easy to melt. Don't worry." But even though he smiled when he said that, his tone of voice couldn't hide the worry. Meanwhile, RM, who has been known as a wise leader, posted one short sentence on Instagram stories. Without context, without captions, time can erase anger, but not all wounds. And that sentence feels like a warning or confession that an interview conducted a few months ago. When BTS was asked about what they fear most in the future, Jungkook replied without hesitation, "I'm afraid of losing one of us, physically or emotionally." Now, the answer comes back to haunt. As if everything had been predicted, fans began to rally in solidarity by uploading photos of Taehyung and Jungkook from the past, as they laughed, carried each other, ran around on the beach, and fell asleep side by side on a plane during a world tour. The caption is just one sentence. "Do you remember who you were before the world knew you?" But the project only strengthened one thing longing, and even more deeply, some fans also began to speculate whether all this would have an impact on the upcoming album. Some industry analysts mentioned that if the conflict is not resolved, it is likely that some schedules will be postponed, or even the concept of the album will be completely changed to suit the internal conditions of the group. Did I ask this thing really that big? Yeah, because it's not just about live incidents, but about the symbol that has been built for more than a decade, that BTS is a family. If two of them have a rift, then the whole building of emotions created together with the fans also sways. But hope has not been completely extinguished. In the midst of that silence and chaos, one small thing happened that made the world hold its breath again. Taehyung has finally uploaded something. Just one photo. Not showing a face. Just a picture of the night sky. The stars are dim. And one caption that made the ARMY cry again. Sometimes it takes stepping away to understand how valuable someone is. That's all. And oh name. No sign. But everyone knows that's who it's for. Then an hour later, Jungkook replaced his photo in the profile with a similar image, the night sky. But the star is brighter. The caption, "I'm waiting for you, where we last understood each other." And in the world of fandom, these two sentences are a ray of hope. That's possible, just maybe they haven't given up. That maybe their wounds are not forever gaping. That maybe. And we all need to believe this Taehyung and Jungkook are finding their way home, slowly, quietly, but surely, because in the end, not all friendships have to be perfect. Sometimes, True friendship is about how they survive despite hurting each other, how they chose to stay, even though they wanted to leave, and how